So, Dad, why are there loads of tools on the bench like last time?
Unlike the disaster last time, where everything fell on the floor, I thought we'd do a quick video to finish off the topic on hand tools. And hopefully that will help our viewers understand all the names and hopefully all the spellings. Now these are a range of tools which are only really used for metal workers. But I suppose some of the tools could be used by woodworking practitioners as well. So I've tried to label as many as I can to speed up the process, and you were going to ask me hopefully a few questions as we go through.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jake? Is it set up nicely?
Yes.
Well, I hope this is really useful, and don't forget guys, it's free to subscribe.
So what's this here?
This is a metalworker's vise. Okay.
Ah.
And look, I spelt it even better than the last time. So I put woodwork, or wood. I think it was woodworks vice in the last clip. Anyway, apologise for that. So here's metalworker's vise, really handy for larger bits of metalwork. And here's a mini one. It's had a baby. Look.
Wow.
Whee, little baby Jake. Right. Okay. Next one.
What's this mini thingy majiggy?
Well, it's a mini spanner. It's an adjustable. You can adjust the size of the aperture, the hole, if you like. And there's a fixed one there. These are much more expensive.
Oh, I see. It's a lot bigger.
And the number denotes the millimetres of the opening there. So it's 25 mil. You forgot the tin snips.
So we've got some tin snips.
Tin snips are used to cut. If I get some
Piece of tin.
yeah, well here and here, that's a piece of copper actually. If you use pan back, bit of copper, and the curve type, obviously for curves. If I can get it to work. It's too yeah, look, it does cut, yeah. Okay, and you can use that also. Yeah, and that's copper.
Very sharp.
But they're tin snips. They need sharpening actually, don't they? They're straight. And you can get just wire cutters which have a very sharp edge to them.
Wow.
Wire cutters. I've had to hand write some.
Wait a second. I recognise this.
That is
from the last video.
Yeah, that's the reamer. Mainly for metalwork. It has this fluted sharp edge to it here at a taper. And you can obviously make holes of different sizes. Or you can put a slight taper on the hole itself.
Cool.
Okay, actually saying that, similar to a countersinking bit, I suppose, in many ways. But handheld. But that's a much coarser angle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so bullnose pliers. Oh, I've dropped it. Great start.
Okay.
Right, bullnose pliers, because they are bull-nosed, blunt and light. Junior hacksaw, small metalworker's saw, very, very fine teeth on that. Can you see, Jake?
So is a junior hacksaw for like a junior, like someone young?
I suppose we do tend to use them for the younger, crafters, if you like, if that's a term, craft people. That's a senior one. High speed steel, works at higher temperatures, and that's a much larger piece of material, metals. Okay, still got a fine blade. Okay, and normally it cuts on the forward stroke. Hence the can you see the arrow there? So it cuts on the forward stroke. Interestingly, the coping saw, which I'll just quickly get,
Cuts on the pull
can you
stroke.
just pan across here, Jake, a little bit.
Okay.
Oh well, here. That's the woodworker's coping saw. Those teeth cut on the stroke coming back towards your body. Okay, the return stroke. Okay, yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. So, pointed nose pliers, because they're obviously pointed. Little cable ties, cable cutters. Vice grips, quite handy. You have a leverage on this, a lever action. You clip it and you can unclip it there. But these are really quite handy to get bolts off that perhaps rusted on.
Yeah.
Or nuts, bolts and nuts. Okay, hand vise for when you're holding small pieces of material.
Looks like you haven't been maintaining that.
No, it does need
go
oil.
out a bit more.
But that's for holding small pieces of metal, or when you want to perhaps drill a hole in it. Okay, not a ruler, but could be. But that's to make it safe while you're pillar drilling something or I'm working on it in some way. Pipe cutters for plumbers, but you know, metal workers use pipe cutters. Oh, I've lost my sign. Where's it
Oh,
gone?
it's under the thing in the jigging.
Oh, here.
Yes.
Oh, look. It's blank. Pipe cutters. And the pipe cutters work simply by opening up that aperture there and tightening it up here, putting it between the two rollers and the cutter. There's the cutter and there's the roller, and there's another roller here. See the axles there, and spinning it, and then it will cut. Yes, Jake.
If that cutter breaks, there's normally a spare one on the
Oh
bottom.
yeah, Jay, you showed me that. That's good. And you can just keep rolling that, and can you see starting to make a mark there?
Yeah.
Oh, my finger's damaged, isn't it, Jay? It's all that brickwork we've been doing. Okay. So that's the pipe cutter. Right. What are these? These are metalworkers drill bits. Very fine. Really fine. Look, the biggest one is 4mm, and it goes down
Goes down
to
to...
0.6. Is that right?
Or is that inches or something?
Ah, that might be imperial. I think it is. Or was that 4.7mm?
I don't know.
Very fine. I think that's 0.6 of a millimetre. I don't think it's,
What
yeah.
if we use a micrometer?
Yeah, that is. That's 0.6. Yeah, it's 0.6. Now, good point. These are, so they're cutting tools, and here's another cutting tool. These, can you see, if you scan on these, and these big ones, what do you think they make?
They make holes.
Well, you cut the hole first, which is slightly smaller, and you can cut threads like that.
Wow.
That's a good example of a thread there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But these actually form the thread inside a hole.
Mhm.
Yeah, so inside a nut.
Or
Yeah.
bolt.
But a bolt. No, that's the bolt. Yeah. But these ones, so these are the taps. It's called a tap, and this is a die. This is the die forms the outside thread, external thread. A much bigger one of those would form that. You can see. Can you see the? Can you see
Oh yeah.
the thread there? I'll get that there.
Why is it called a die?
No idea actually. There will be a technical reason. And the taps, which are the smaller ones, tap the hole. And actually tap is used in a lot of things when you tap a hole for seeds, called tapping seeds. And that's the holder for the tap. And that's the holder for the die. Fits inside there.
Mm.
Now that's a bit of research for you, young engineers. Look at tapping and dyeing. And look, you can actually measure. If I can get this out.
Oh, is that a mini multi-tool then?
Sort of. You can actually measure. If I can get this through. Oh, I push it that way. Look, you can measure types of thread. Can you see?
Oh, so would that be TPI, threads
Yeah,
per inch?
0.7. So this sizes will denote the type of thread, the depth of the thread, and how coarse or fine
That's
the thread
cool.
is. Yeah, it is good actually. So a little bit of research there for people. Okay, that's the so that's the tap and die set used extensively with people who are doing engineering work. And actually, here's my uncle's shed here. There's a lathe in action. He's making a small clock, and he made a steam engine. And that's a metalworker's lathe. And there's the setup there, setting up, marking out depth and certain angles, radiuses and diameters and so forth. And he would have used tools like this. Micrometer.
Ah.
My father gave me that. That's a metric one. But you could get imperial. Imperial's feet and inches, and metrics millimetres and metres. Yes, Jake?
Wait, so do you know why we use a mixture of both?
That's a really good question. Many years ago, England you would use imperial from empirical, and it's devised from fractions. Okay,
Oh.
metric isn't devised from fractions. Sorry, metric isn't. So that's worth a bit of research. What is the difference? But metric's millimeters, isn't it?
Yeah.
And meters. But imperial is devised from fractions. So I don't know. It's normally eighths or twelfths. Okay.
Mhm.
1/12 or 1/8. Okay, so centre marker for measuring the middle of something. So that's quite a good little engineering tool. You can measure the middle of something. Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah.
Measure the middle.
That's clever.
It is clever. That's that angle there. Look.
Oh.
There you go. Centre marker. Okay, you've got the compass, which is that. And this is a type of compass. Okay, and you can measure diameter. Also, you know, you can calculate circumference from that as well, can't you? So you measure, put that to a ruler, take a measurement, and then. So, diameter's what measurement, Jake? Is it right across or halfway through?
Right across.
Yes, there's diameter there, and radius would be halfway. Okay, so that's that. A little bit of information there. Now, this is a centre punch, and this is an automatic one. So you put it. Sam made this, your brother, didn't he? So, and you knock it into your metal. I won't damage it, and it will give a point from which you can then drill a hole. Very handy, actually.
So it's not automatic in the way of it will pick itself up and automatically.
No. So you put it on a piece of metal, find out where you want to drill a hole, and drop that, and it'll give you a little point from which you can then position the drill, one of these drill bits, and drill it accurately. So well done, Sam, for that, made at university. And there's one that you just use with a hammer. Can you see? Look at that fine point. That's starting off a hole in metal. Not to be mixed up with this word here, scriber. The scriber is used to scratch, if you like, a line in metal. Normally on metal you put blue dye, or blue, a type of blue paint, and you then scratch it through the blue, engineer's blue it's called, to make a line. And you use all these sort of engineer squares here, look. There's an adjustable one there, there's a fixed one. Really precise work, down to, you know, a quarter or even, you know, 1/10 of a millimetre. Here's a digital one, so you can put this on a piece of, yes, go on.
Digital what?
That's a micrometer. Yeah, sorry, vernier. It's called a vernier. Really handy, actually, finding out the depth or the thicknesses of materials down to very small thicknesses. So if I picked up something weird, who put that there? That's you. So if I picked up this and I wanted to measure the thickness, actually it's off today. Something that's working today.
Yeah,
that's putting your battery. You put that on there, and it will give you an absolutely accurate dimension of the thickness. Dimension meaning obviously size. Okay. Damn, we should have got that going. And now that's the digital version. There's a analog version there, so you can actually put it on there and you can read off what it would be in millimetres. Okay, from that point there. Okay, there's a point. Yes, Jake?
So would that one be digital and analog because it's got numbers on it and you can read the numbers?
Yeah, actually you can convert it. And notice that's an inside measurement there. And here you can measure the... Sorry, that's an inside and that's an outside. So that's an outside diameter. But you could put this on something like, let's think. Let's come over
a circle.
To... Well, something circular. Like that. You can put it inside there. And it'll give you an inside size. Okay? And it might be like this, it may be ovular. So you want to actually know two sizes. The size across one side, or one width, and then the other. That's a vernier caliper. Put that there. Metalwork in many ways is a much more precise engineering field, if you like, over woodwork.
So
some would argue that, but I think it is.
What's this called?
I don't know what this little person's doing, Jake. You being funny. Looks like you in the morning, a bit wooden. Now this is a planishing hammer.
Looks polished.
It is polished and it's chromium plated, and it's for, you get different shapes, and it's for actually very carefully hammering a piece of thin metal, that's a bit of copper,
Do you want
to shape. I won't, but you keep bashing it and then you'd form that shape. Often you'll heat it first, which is called annealing, and then it will soften the material, and then you'd form the shape. And that's actually how they used to shape metal many years ago. It wasn't pressed to shape, it was actually beaten to shape, unlike what I do to you every night. No, I don't. I wouldn't beat you, of course. Anyway, and there's one for softer material there. Soft, yeah, very soft aluminium using a copper. Right, now, templates or jigs. It's a general term, but you see this? You could put metal in there and you could form a certain angle and shape and form the same shape every time. And you get different ones. You get bending bars. You put the metal in there.
Do those open up?
Yeah, you slide the metal in here.
Oh.
If I can get it in without hurting my hand. And you put this in the vise. So if you just pan that way, you put this then in the vise. And then you could bend it over whichever way you wanted. And you'd obviously mark a line, a really precise line.
Of course, there's other ways of bending it.
You could just put it in the vise, but the trouble with the vise, it can damage it. So that's bending bars. I'll put that there. Learning a lot today, actually. I'm quite enjoying this. That's bending bars. And you can get specialist kit like this, jigs, that I'm going to do a demo on, actually, on another video. And you can use that to form a shape by putting metal across there and crushing it. And that's got magnets, so it fits into it. So if you turn over here, that goes in here. And actually, my technician Katie has been showing me how that could be used. And we're going to make a little desk tidy, aren't we? Damaged end there. Look, Jake's got damaged end. Damn, it's been dropped. Damn, is that you, Jake?
No.
Right, never mind. But that's expensive specialist stuff. And on a massive scale in industry, you can get machines with the enormous ones of these. You know, 3 or 4 meters long. Okay, right. Needle files, very specialist files. Look at how small they are.
Wait, needle files were in the other video.
Yeah, but you can get metalworkers needle files.
Are they just stronger?
The quality of the material tends to be better, and the actual it tends to be finer. Finer. Okay, and I talked about an Ebra file that goes in a saw, but we're not going to touch that today. Okay, Allen keys. Okay. Obviously devised by a person called Alan. I don't know.
Well,
might be spelled differently as well.
logical.
Yeah, two ways of spelling Alan. Okay, hand files. Obviously that hasn't got a handle on it, but you look at how fine that is.
Maybe I need to make a handle.
Very effective. You could do it on the lathe, couldn't you?
Yeah,
could make a metal one, couldn't you? Yeah, okay. Wire brushes. Now, wire brush, they come in different forms. There's a rotary one, it goes on a drill. So it's a wire brush, steel of some sorts. And once you've cleaned up your metal with a wire brush, you may want to polish it up and get it even finer using emery cloth. That's how it's spelled. Emery cloth.
Not memory.
No, emery. Don't know why it's emery. I bet you it's devised by a person called Mr. Emery. Or Mrs. Emery, who knows. Could be a lady, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Often they are some of the best things. Right. Now there's some soldering stuff for electrical work.
What about these?
Oh, metal stamps. Yeah, these are good. I like these. Get them off. Oh, look. There's the alphabet there.
Well, they all look upside down or something.
Yeah. And you take them out and you put your put it in position and then hammer it down and it will give you. Shall I give you a demo?
Yeah.
Let's do a demo. Well, I'll get a hammer off the floor. You just
Off the floor.
I know, here. Right, let's do it on here. Ready?
Okay.
See if we get a good finish. Or should I do it on that bit of copper
Do it on the copper.
in the corner?
Well.
Come over to the back of the vise. Baby Jake. There. Little vise. Got some light on it, Jake? Lots of light. Ready? I don't know which way up it should check. And we'll just put a little. Look, J. Isn't that weird? Look,
Wow.
look, I've got a J. That's you. Just by complete chance. Anyway, there you go. So that's the metal stump.
Well,
Isn't
it's
that
probably
good?
not by chance.
Oh no, that's amazing.
Wait, so I know this is a bit off topic, but what's this thing here?
That's what this is. This is a lovely bit of kit. The expense of these, about 70 quid. There's the cutter, which you can adjust the actual diameter or the radius, in fact. Well, either. And you push it down and you force it at the same time, and it will give you a mark, but it will half scribe the mark as a radius. Again, in industry, you get much bigger versions of this.
Cool.
Clever bit of kit that. Tighten up the small Allen key there, and you can set the diameter you want.
Wow.
Okay, obviously time to is that. Okay,
Anyway.
brilliant. Yeah, that's a lovely bit of kit. So if I... Can you see he's made a circular? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Mark. Right, so we've got to emery cloth, wire cut. This is more electrical work actually.
Yeah.
There's some solder made from lead and tin.
Glasses were in the last video.
Yeah, goggles. Well, it's important that for metalwork in particular, you protect your eyes and your hands from dermatitis and, you know, damage to your hands and cuts. So you don't wear gloves with metalwork. That in some cases can add to the danger because you can get it caught in rotating machinery. But keep them clean, and you may have to put some cream on them. But goggles, you must protect your eyes, woodwork and metalwork, and possibly a respiration type mask for dust in woodwork. Really important, really important. And proper overalls or an apron if you're younger, and proper supervision and training, of course. So important. I've heard of some awful injuries in some of these craft activities. Right, okay, so soldering iron here. Gets to about 180 degrees, the soldering iron. Yeah, obviously just be aware of the heat that's on the soldering iron once it's plugged in. And that is called a something, oh, can't remember the name now.
I think it's called a third hand.
Something like that. There's another name as well. Steady hand? Is it a steady hand? Can you see what's this called?
Well, it's not that steady if it's well, if there's
What's
an
this
earthquake.
piece of glass called? Can you remember?
Magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass, look. So let's just see how well it works. Yeah, look, it works really well. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pan back.
Oh wait, what's this thing on the floor?
I wanted to, yeah. This is a socket set, so used for tightening nuts and bolts up. And that's a relatively average sort of set you can get. That's probably still worth £100 or so.
Wow.
Whoa. Right, okay, if we covered everything.
I
That's
think
that's a very specialist set I've used to find distances, and that's a micrometer, very special setup.
Cool.
And you can change the actual pins, measuring tools at the end. Okay, and it goes down to, look, it's literally hundredths of an inch, or thousands of an inch probably.
Oh look, there's a cup of tea here.
Yes, that's mine. Off, get your hands off that. Right, I think we've covered everything. The little man can go there. We've done the lathe, the metalworker's lathe, we mentioned it there.
Yeah.
There's a milling machine there.
Oh wow.
That's actually a milling machine. That's for cutting metal horizontally or vertically.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how you can form shapes like this. Yeah, It's not made by a filing, I doubt. Look, it's made with one piece and milled out. Yeah, it's one piece of metal.
Wow.
So that's how you can make things like that. This is cast, and then it's milled flat on a machine like that. So this actual, if you focus on here, Jake, this milling machine, that actual bed can move that way. And the drill bit has a very special, very strong type of cutter, and it actually allows the metal to be removed really precisely. So that's a flat sort of work, flat piece of work like that. Milling machine, bit of research for you engineers, budding engineers. And here's a small engineering lathe, mini one,
Wow.
for turning pieces of material, or even making things like this. And it can do all sorts of things. That's being made on a metalworker's lathe. Sam's done a really good job there. He said this all comes apart, look. And the thread's being made on the lathe. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's pretty specialist stuff, that. He said something else came off there. Oh, the whole thing comes apart, I think. Yeah, the nib comes off. There's the thread. That would have been made on one of these. Look, I bet it fits there. Look, it does. And that would have been the cutter. Something like that. Used to cut the thread. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And the knurling here is a special tool they put on the tool post, and it puts this knurled, it's called a knurled pattern. Make it grippy. There's a bigger one there, look.
Cool.
So you can imagine this being made from a machine, like that metalworker's lathe. Brilliant. Does that help, Jake?
Yeah,
Explain
I
things?
think that would have helped.
Is
the
that going to
shed
help?
hackers.
Yeah, I hope that helps the viewers. Well, actually, I've enjoyed that over the woodworking one.
Yeah.
And no disasters today, Jake.
No.
No. There's your planishing hammer. You get obviously the wooden ones as well. Most metalworking tools, I must say, are generally made from metal. But, you know, there are exceptions to the rule. And you might find the parts of them are still made from wood, such as the handles and things. There's the former for the planishing. And they can look up the word annealing, for softening the metal before it's shaped. You wanted to use this, didn't you?
Yeah.
Should we put this in the vise?
Mm-hmm.
Metalwork. I don't want to damage that because I really like that. So we'll open this right up.
Just a piece of paper.
It's magnetic, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
that's really clever, that. Keep the light on there, Jake. And that goes there.
Of course, we got a bit of pewter in our vise over there.
Watch it on
from the pewter video.
So if I line that up there, line it up. Oh no, got to be go right through. Watch your hand there, Jake. Ready? We can do a much stronger, thicker section of material. It's pretty effective, actually. Yeah. Is that what you meant? Oh, bent a bit.
Yeah.
Not a very good shape.
It's gone a,
Never mind.
it's gone a bit.
Right, I think what we're going to have to do, I want to do a shed hacks on this.
Yeah.
Has that done it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's out of line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I think it moved.
Okay. Well, anyway, the principle of it is there. You can see you can form a shape. Don't think that's a great example, but I mean things like this can be made on jigs like this.
Yeah.
And being punch pressed out and then line bent there. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks, shed hackers. If I get it right. And don't forget to subscribe. Do you want to just focus on those very quickly? Yeah, that should say woodworkers vice. That's me. But anyway, these are some quite useful tools to know about. Don't think I've got a centre marker. Anyway, bit of a grotty day here, isn't it? Raining here. Oh, okay, well, off to on our bikes now, I think, Jake.
Yeah.
Bye.